G'day folks, Aussie Paramotor Man here. I'm just going to make a video on my wing basically. It's a kind of like a 50-hour review. That's what I've clocked on my Niviuk Link 2 now, and I just want to talk about my experiences that I've had with the glider and why I think it's a good glider for a beginner. It's been pretty good to me. It's saved my ass a few times when I've made really stupid mistakes. I've got a series of different clips, 4 clips in total coming up. I'm just going to talk a little bit about each clip before I play the clip, and describe what happened, and hopefully you can avoid doing that yourself. But this first clip that I'm going to show you is of a big wingtip collapse. It's after I did an asymmetric spiral to the left. So what I did is I built up a bit of energy to the right, and then I swung the glider around, did a big asymmetric spiral. I came down in the asymmetric spiral. I built up a lot of energy and I bled that off into a turn. When I did that, I generated a massive wake. I did a 360-degree turn. When I was exiting the turn, I didn't hold the turn long enough, essentially ballooned out of it a bit, and then smashed straight into my own wake. And that's something that all beginners would probably do. Took a massive left tip deflation. It was pretty uneventful, like the glider didn't really even change direction at all, as it shouldn't, being a beginner wing. And yeah, I didn't actually see the tip deflation. I felt it, but it wasn't until I reviewed the video footage later that I realized how big the tip deflation was. So yeah, have a look at this next clip. So this next clip is just a clip of how the Niviuk Link 2 behaves during a spiral dive. I think it's important that you get your glider into a spiral dive, even a flat spiral, so you can work out what it takes brake pressure wise for you to reach that point, so that you can avoid doing it if you're close to the ground. Also, it's important to do it so that you know how to exit out of the spiral in case it does happen. Obviously you want to be able to just build up to a full flat spiral, because the G loading can be quite significant. You don't want to just go out on a brand new wing and just do a flat spiral. You'd want to build up over time, get your confidence with the wing, figure out where the where the point of no return is on the glider, and then when you actually go to commit to do the flat spiral, you should be considering the location where you're doing it, the height at which you're doing it, having a reserve parachute, and flotation if you're over water. My glider, although I do say in the clip that it's going into a full auto rotation, it isn't actually. I'm holding some brake pressure still on the right side to maintain the rotation. All it took to exit the spiral was relaxing the right slightly until the glider started to bank again into the turn, and then I pulled the right, I held the right to keep it in a banking turn to be able to bleed the energy off, and I just held it until the energy was bled off enough where I could fly away. I needed to hold it for a little bit longer, like I ballooned out a little bit when I exited, but all in all, I'm pretty happy with that spiral, that flat spiral result. It wasn't as G-loading as I thought it was going to be. The glider was quite hard to get into the flat spiral. Like, I had to really put a lot of pressure on that right brake to make it do that. So yeah, that does really give credit to the glider that it is a safe beginner wing. So yeah, watch this next clip, see what you think. Alright, so this next clip is probably the gnarliest one out of all four of them. Gnarliest as in could have been the most catastrophic had it unfolded slightly differently. Luckily, being a beginner glider, it sorted itself out pretty much. I didn't really have to do anything. So what I was doing was I was building up energy for wing overs, and I got to that point in the wing overs where it goes from being like pretty benign and gentle to being quite sinister. I crossed the threshold from benign to sinister, but I didn't fully commit. So if you watch in the clip that I do basically an asymmetric spiral, and then I reverse it and I do a 360 in the opposite direction, which bled off a lot of my energy, and then I went for another reversal and I timed it poorly. I didn't use hardly any outside brake, and I ran out of energy when I was at basically the top of the pendulum. And yeah, my seat got really light, which is an awful feeling when you're up above the wing. The whole left riser went completely, well, the left set of lines went completely slack. I actually got smacked in the face with my risers as they went past, as the wing folded in half. If you watch carefully on the clip, I literally folded the left side all the way to the right side of the glider, so I pretty much completely folded the wing in half. As I came back down and put tension on the lines, it just popped straight back out. Then I had to deal with the massive amount of energy from that occurring. So what I did is I just held it in a turn, bled it out, added some power to assist with the turn, and flew out unscathed. The important thing to take from this is when you're doing wing overs, you've got to expect the unexpected. So I had plenty of altitude, I had a reserve, had my flotation on. I was in a spot where if I needed to deploy my reserve, it wasn't the best spot in the world, but it wasn't bad. I had nice soft sand and ocean. So I had a hook knife as well, and I'm confident that I would have been able to get out of the Paramotor had a water landing most likely. So Again though, there was a better spot where I could have been when I did this, slightly over more inland. Probably would have been more ideal, but you know, I had the majority of things covered that saved my ass in this situation. So plenty of altitude, yeah, I had a reserve, I had flotation, and I had a hook knife, and I was in a half decent spot when this occurred. So yeah, enjoy this next one. When it happened, I made an uncontrollable sound. I remember it occurring, and I was that shocked at what had just happened. I just made this sound like, you can't hear it on the footage because of the noise of the motor, but yeah, it caught me off guard big time, and it scared the bejesus out of me. So yeah, enjoy this one. So I've already made a video about this next clip, just on the topic of this incident that I had. But essentially what occurred was I biffed a launch massively. I crashed into my own parked car, and it was just a result of human factors. You know, I was fatigued, I'd been trudging up and down the sand with a full tank of fuel. The wind was light and variable, so I was set up into wind, and then the wind would swing and I'd have to go pack the glider up, reset, and I had to do that a couple of times. So by the time I committed to this final launch where I crashed, I just wanted to get in the air at all costs, and unfortunately the cost was me crashing into my car. So yeah, give yourself plenty of room. If you're fatigued, sit down and have a rest, and just be very wary of light and variable conditions. They're extremely tricky to launch in. But yeah, enjoy this next clip, and like I said, I have got a full video on just this crash, what happened, the damage to my Paramotor. So if you want to check that out, head to my YouTube channel and go have a look. Alright, peace.
Literally zero wind. This is difficult. Just watching that windsock, and it's not even moving. Alright, now I can feel it on my face. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back in the same direction. Hopefully I get a bit of that wind action coming back for a second look. Ooh, stupid idiot. Almost cut my own A-line then.